Aquarius, December is all about moving forward. This isn't necessarily a month where you're going to experience a lot of shifts and changes. The real purpose of this month is to stabilize and maintain what you already have. You may get some motivation along the way, because I get the sense that some of you feel kind of down, you feel like giving up, but Spirit is like, have courage and push forward because the end is in sight. Want to know more? Keep watching and I'll explain all about it. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and I am here to help you uncover your divinity and discover your magic. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And speaking of content, head over to Instagram and follow me over there at Divine Feminine Works. Every day I've got a ton of tarot, manifestation, astrology content that will really help you out. So follow me over there so you don't miss out on any of that good stuff. All right, so this is going to be the Astro Forecast and Tarot Scope for the month of December 2021. I don't know about you, but I'm still kind of blown that it is December of 2021. I felt like 2021 sounded so futuristic, it sounds so far away, and now we are at the tail end of it, and can't say I'm mad about that. I mean, I'm ready to move on, hopefully to bigger and better things, and I believe that 2022 is going to give us just that. But before I get ahead of myself, it's time to talk about the here and now, and as always, you know the deal, we start with the So the theme of this month, if we had to sum up December in one sort of short, concise sentence, it would be when one door closes, another opens. That's sort of how this month is playing out, because we begin the month right in the thick of eclipse season. So 2 weeks ago, we had a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. And then right at the beginning of December, we have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. So eclipses are the universe's way of sort of cleaning things up in our lives and in society in general. So eclipses either take things out of our lives or put things in. It's the universe's way of setting order. And so when we have this kind of energy, it's sort of like you not only have to roll with the punches, but you have to be open to receiving and letting go of what you want on the one hand and what no longer serves you on the other. And that's pretty much how this month is going to go. Again, the highlight of this month is the new moon solar eclipse. But another way to think about this month, or another way to look at this month, is that there's a lot of movement this month, a lot of energy shifts. So we have 4 planets that are actually changing signs. We've got 2 planets that are changing directions, and we have an eclipse. So if you find that at the end of the month, if you're sort of assessing how December was for you, and you feel like December sort of had you feeling unsettled, a little bit unstable, that's because things are shifting and moving around. And that energy actually started last month in November with the eclipse, okay? So it's, like I said before, it's really about rolling with the punches and sort of letting things, let the chips fly, let things sort of move as they need to, and then sort of assess and get a lay of the land, all right? So let's go through the month chronologically and see what we've got. So we open up the month with the planet Neptune going direct in its home sign of Pisces. So Neptune was retrograde from June 25th of this year, and now it is turning direct. And we all know that when a planet goes retrograde, it's like you sort of take the energy and the characteristics of that planet and you direct it inward. So instead of things being directed outward in your life, you're taking a hard look at yourself, you're reflecting, you're remembering, you're doing all of that with respect to that particular planet's energy. So Neptune is all about fantasy. It's all about illusion. It's about love. It's about dreams, those kind of things. And so when Neptune went retrograde back in June, all of that stuff kind of went out the window. Neptune retrograde allows you to see the realness, the harshness, and the ugliness of life. And trust and believe, I think we can all agree that we've really been seeing that. Definitely over the last couple of years, but specifically as Neptune has been retrograde, we've been seeing things for what they really are. The rose-colored glasses come off and we see life as it is. But now that Neptune is going direct, now we're going to be able to take what we've learned while Neptune was retrograde and apply that to life and be optimistic. Regardless of what we've seen, the harshness and ugliness of life, I feel like now we're able to move forward and we can dream again. We can have high hopes. We can be optimistic despite the reality of, life. But you sort of take that, it's like you take the things that you've learned while Neptune was retrograde and you apply it to, your life going forward, but you're more optimistic, you're more hopeful. All right. So that's really how Neptune direct is going to affect us. And it all depends on where that falls in your chart. Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces. So its energy is extra potent. It's great for creative endeavors. It's great for us to recognize and appreciate humanity on a collective level. It's about being selfless, compassionate, empathic. So all of these things are going to we're going to be able to feel those things again. Okay. So that's how we start out the month. And then the star of the month is, like I said, the new moon solar eclipse happening in the sign of Sagittarius, and that's going down on Saturday, December 4th. So new moons are all about new beginnings, and a new moon solar eclipse is a new beginning in a very big way. It's like a new moon on steroids. This particular solar eclipse, I should say, really is about like an ending and a beginning wrapped up in one. That's kind of why I said the theme for this month is when one door closes, another opens. On the one hand, not only is this the final eclipse in the Gemini Sagittarius cycle that we've kind of been going through for the last 18 months or so, it's also happening at the 12th degree. And the 12th degree is the Pisces degree. And as we know, Pisces is the final sign in the zodiac. So there is a certain element of finality with this particular eclipse. So like I said, something is going to end and something is going to begin sort of simultaneously. Although you're not going to feel it right in the moment. It's not like Saturday is going to get here and you're going to be like, okay, something ends, something begins, I'm done. This energy is fluid and it's definitely playing out over the next couple of months. So be prepared for things to sort of shift within that time frame. This new moon solar eclipse allows us to have a clean slate and a fresh start, and it eclipses things into our lives. So I don't know about you, but at the time of the full moon lunar eclipse last month, I experienced a lot of endings. People that I was close to, someone that I was very close to passed away. Things were very jarring, things were sort of being eclipsed out. Now at this new moon solar eclipse, you may notice that things are being eclipsed in, things are being added to your life. People may be coming in, you may be going to a new place, experiencing new things, especially being in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius likes to live large and in charge. It's all about adventure, broadening your horizons. So it's going to be this very expansive new beginning. There's also going to be an element of limitation and unexpected happenings with this new moon solar eclipse because we've got Uranus and Saturn in the mix. And I'm going to do a separate video on these eclipses generally and go more into the astrology of each particular eclipse. But just know that things may be a little difficult. Things, Saturn is an energy of limitation, of obstacles. It's also of endings also, and karma. So you may find that things are finally wrapping up in a particular area of your life, only for a new door to open and a new adventure, to embark upon. So that's sort of how this eclipse is playing out. All right. So moving right along, we have Mercury entering into Capricorn on December 13th. And Mercury in Capricorn is very serious. Our thoughts, our communications become serious, practical, down to earth. We become more focused and think more about work, being disciplined, perhaps overcoming obstacles, A lot of what we talk to people about and a lot of what we think about centers around work. It centers around serious matters. So that's how Mercury in Capricorn is going to play out. And again, that's going down on December 13th. That same day, December 13th, Mars is going to be moving into the sign of Sagittarius. Mars being a fire sign and moving into a fire sign makes Mars sort of extra happy. And this is really about, we become motivated by our desire to act according to our ideals and beliefs. Sagittarius, apart from just, ruling long distance travel, higher education, Sagittarius is all about expanding our minds, and it's also about faith, belief, and spirituality. And so now Mars being a very action-oriented planet, a planet that is concerned with initiation, we're going to want to move according to what we believe in and what we have faith in, and being very strong and convicted in those beliefs. Additionally, we'll want to start new adventures, blaze new trails, start new projects, initiate a whole bunch of things on a very grand scale, right? The only thing you'll have to keep in mind is that Mars in Sagittarius is like great for starting things, but not necessarily finishing. So you may have all of these projects that you start, you may have multiple projects, or you may have one big project. It's going to be very important for you to keep your level of motivation high, because in the beginning, you're going to be really fired up. You're going to be like, yes, I want to do this. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And then shortly thereafter, you're going to be like, whatever, or it goes by the wayside or anything like that. So that's definitely going to be something that you're going to be mindful of when Mars enters Sagittarius. All right, so moving right along, we have the full moon in Gemini going down on December 18th. And obviously, if you've watched any of my videos before, you already know that full moons illuminate. Full moons are either the culmination of a manifestation or they illuminate something that's been hidden. Gemini rules communication, it rules siblings, it rules extended family members, short distance travel, business, sort of your everyday busy body kind of energy is what Gemini is. And so with this, you're going to find that you'll probably either be really busy around this full moon, your communication with people is going to ramp up, you may be taking short distance trips, maybe you planned a short distance trip sometime prior and now you're finally going on it. You may find that something that you thought about back at the new moon in Gemini back in June now is coming to fruition. You may find that just your general environment is just busy. That's sort of how this full moon is going to play out. And again, that is on December 18th. Moving right along, the next day on December 19th, we have Venus going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So Venus in Capricorn is very serious as well. Just like I spoke about Mercury in Capricorn being serious, Venus is the same thing, but its energy is more focused on relationships, money, things that we value, aesthetics, beauty, comfort, luxury. All of those things become very serious, very tangible, and very down to earth. Venus in Capricorn is the energy that's going to get you to save money to buy a big ticket item. It's going to have you make a plan of action to redo your house, have a relationship. It's very practical, diligent, and down to earth. That's when Venus is direct in Capricorn. So now when Venus is retrograde in Capricorn, we take that energy and we direct it inward. So this really becomes what are the things that I value in my life? What is important to me? What are the criteria that I need to be in a relationship? Everything that Venus is about, we direct that inward. And being in Capricorn, we take a very practical, down-to-earth focus to it. Even creativity becomes very much more practical. How do I do things? How do I make money from what I create? What values are important to me in relationships with respect to assets? What's fair in my life? Am I being fair to myself? So that Venusian energy, everything Venus is going to be directed inward when Venus goes retrograde. And again, that's on December 19th. Moving right along, on December 21st, Capricorn season officially begins when the sun moves into Capricorn. So there's a lot of Capricorn energy this month. So if you feel like December is really sort of heavy, it's sort of not very exciting. I mean, the holidays are around, so there's that certain element to that. But maybe you think about the holidays in terms of how much money am I spending? How much overtime do I have to work in order to buy people presents? Those are the sort of Capricorn-like thoughts that are characteristic of the sun in Capricorn. We become very disciplined. Work becomes a real thing. We focus on getting things done in a practical, down-to-earth sort of way. Our status in life becomes something that we become concerned about. Business, all of those sort of mundane, practical things are what are characteristic of Capricorn season. And again, that begins on December 21st when the sun moves into Capricorn. And then finally, we close out the month with Jupiter heading into its home sign of Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces is like love, an overdose of love. Jupiter is all about expansion and growth, right? And so Jupiter in Pisces is really about expanding our awareness of spirituality, compassion, and love, but love on a grander scale. It's not like how you love your parent, how you love your child, how you love your spouse or your significant other. It's how you love humanity. Your love grows and your love expands, right? You start to, Pisces is a very intuitive sign. It's a very sensitive sign and an empathic sign. So whenever there is a planet in Pisces, particularly Jupiter, we feel other people's emotions. We feel sensitive, compassionate, and empathic towards other people in a very big way, which is great because that helps us understand people and just spread love, right? But the thing with Pisces is that it can be a lot and it can be overwhelming. And so in feeling everything on a grand scale, you really may have the tendency to lose yourself. You start taking on other people's emotions, taking on other people's shit, and you get lost in the sauce essentially. And with Pisces, the symbol for Pisces being fish, you're sort of literally lost in the sauce, right? So with Jupiter in Pisces, what's going to be really important is for you to feel everything, right? But also take the time and extra room to feel for yourself. So you're going to have to close off to the world at times, rest, recharge, and get back to yourself, because there's going to be a tendency to lose yourself. There's going to be a tendency to really, like I said, get lost in the sauce. So that is December in a nutshell. If you want to know more about what December has to offer, you can either check out the horoscopes, which are on my website, link in the description box below, or you can get a personal horoscope that is designed specifically for you. Whether it's 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, you can figure out what December or any other month for that matter is going to look specifically for you. And if you want to order that, that link is in the description box as well. All right, Aquarius. So for you, December is all about maintenance. Like if I had to sum up December in one word for your sign in particular, the key word would be maintenance. And that is because you have a lot of succeedent house energy going on this month. So by way of a quick astrology lesson, let me explain what I mean. So the astrological wheel is divided into 12 different houses, and those 12 houses are grouped into 3 separate groups, and each group contains 4 houses. We have the angular houses, which is houses 1, 4, 7, and 10. And those are the houses where you take action. Those are the houses where things are birthed, things are created, you start new things and move in new directions. The next set of houses are called the succeedent houses, which are houses 2, 5, 8, and 11. And those houses are about maintaining and stabilizing the energy, okay? And then finally, we have the third grouping of houses, which are called the cadent houses. And those are houses 3, 6, 9, and 12. And those houses exude the energy of sort of destruction, winding down, change, and adaptability. So for you guys this month, you have a majority of your succeedent houses being lit. So that means that everything that goes on this month is really showing you or really telling you that you need to stabilize and maintain the energy wherever this energy is presenting itself in your life, okay? And so for you, you have a focus on the 11th house, the 12th house, the 2nd house, and the 5th house. So let's take it in order and see how this month is going to play out for you. All right, so we start out the month in Sagittarius season. The sun will be in Sagittarius, and that is going to light up your 11th house of associations, friendships, goals, and ambitions, okay? So the 11th house is a succeedent house. So this is going to be about maintaining and stabilizing not only your friends, associations, and sort of your group identity, But when it comes to your goals and ambitions in life, it's going to be about staying the course. Maintain that vision. Stabilize that dream in your vision and in your mind and keep going. Okay, that's pretty much how Sagittarius season is going to be for you. And so we have the sun in Sagittarius, the new moon solar eclipse is going down in Sagittarius, Mercury and Mars are going to be in your 11th house. So there's going to be a lot of activity. There's going to be a lot of planetary energy, and all of that is going to help you stabilize what you already have in terms of friends, associations, goals, and ambitions. Okay. So that may be things are shifting around in order for you to keep, your friend group, in order to maintain your status or your membership in a particular group, and in order to allow you to move forward with respect to any goals or ambitions that you may have. Okay. And then once the sun transits into the sign of Capricorn, it's going to light up your 12th house of solitude, rest, and relaxation. The month or the season before our solar return is always marked by some quiet wind down energy because the sun is in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is not a succedent house. It's a cadent house. And that's why it's characteristic of winding down. So you may find that Capricorn season finds you engaged in a lot of endings and tying loose ends, particularly as it relates to your personality, your spirituality, and your karma, because a lot of things maybe just be winding down via the universe, right? The universe is making that happen. Others of you, it's time to just get quiet, rest, recharge, because your season starts in January. So you're going to want to have as much energy as possible, because when your season starts, the sun is going to move into an angular house, which is your first house. And that's where you're going to want to take new actions, start new things, particularly as it relates to yourself. But that will be next month. For right now, come Capricorn season, it's about resting and recharging. All right. We also have an emphasis on your second house of money and material possessions, because we have Jupiter and Neptune in those houses. And again, this is going to be about stabilizing and maintaining your assets, because this house covers money, things that you own, assets, your values. So it's all about maintaining that, right? And so you're going to find that when it comes to money, when it comes to your assets, you're going to have a very lofty and idyllic sort of way of approaching it and thinking about it, because Jupiter is going to make things large and in charge. And Neptune direct is going to give you that dreamy, ethereal sort of energy. So this may be a great time to put a financial plan in order, because you're going to be thinking optimistically about it, and the energy is conducive to stabilizing that. So December is going to be a great time to put financial plans together, start saving, holding on to what it is that you have. That's going to be the name of the game with that. And then finally, we have a fifth house emphasis, which is also a succedent house. And the fifth house covers self-expression, children, and romance. And so this is where the full moon in Gemini is going down on December 18th. So at that time, you're either going to see things are going to be uncovered that may have been in the dark for a while. Something having to do with a lover, something having to do with kids, something having to do with a creative endeavor of yours. For others of you, think back to June of this year, and at the Gemini new moon, you may have set intentions related to children, related to dating and romance, related to creativity and expressing yourself. And now at the full moon, you'll find that those intentions have come to fruition and your manifestation has finally occurred. But regardless, that energy, because it's in a succedent house, is going to be about maintaining all of that. So this isn't about starting anything new, dating new people, ending relationships, or anything like that. It's about maintaining the status quo and stabilizing that area of your life. All right. So hopefully you were able to understand that sort of quick astrology lesson, as well as what's going on for you this month. But December's looking pretty good. It's all about maintaining and stabilizing. All right. So now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. All right, Aquarius, you know the deal. We've got 3 separate messages, 1 general, 1 love, and 1 career and money. So without further ado, let's get into it. And let's start with the general message. So let's see what's going on for you. Oh, there we go. Kind of inclined to take both of these. All right. We've got building blocks and we've got message in a bottle. Okay, so generally speaking, There's some sort of message that you're going to get that's going to contribute to something that you're already building. So like I said, December is very much about maintenance and stability for you. It's sort of whatever you've started building, it's all about keeping an even keel, keep moving forward and keep, building upon that. And so that's exactly what you're doing. And there's going to be a message related to that. This may be an emotional message that's sort of perfect example. Perhaps you were working on something, right? Let's say just a general sort of project. And you've been moving forward, you've been doing what you need to do, but you kind of feel like you want to give up, you're bored or whatever. And then you get this emotional message. And the emotional message doesn't mean that it's a bad emotion. It might be something motivational that gets you to say, oh, you know what? Let me keep going with this. Let me keep doing this. Perfect example, saving money. Perhaps you had a big ticket item that you were saving for, right? Because I believe you guys have an emphasis on your second house this month. And perhaps along the way, you're like, ugh, I kind of just want to use the money for something else. Or, you become a little less disciplined when it comes to saving. And perhaps you get some sort of emotional message. Let's say you're scrolling through Instagram and it talks about everything you can do with money you invested and, saving money and something like that. And it kicks you into gear, sort of lights a fire under your ass and allows you to keep saving and keep going. That's sort of the message that I'm getting for you this month. So it's all about keep building, okay? And there's going to be a message that sort of reminds you of that. Right, let's get another card here. Okay, we've got King of Swords. So here you are showing up to your reading. This is all about planning and strategizing. This is typically about communication. The King of Swords is an expert when it comes to communicating and when it comes to thinking. So I get the sense that a lot of you are thinking of a master plan. You're less talk and more action, I'm getting. You really put some strategy into this building that you're doing and you're just doing it. You're focused. You're saying less about it and you're just doing what you need to do. Okay, let's get one more card here for the general message. Oh, I like how that. We've got false person, okay? And to me, this is all about deluding yourself or being delusional. You want to be real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself about why you're doing what you're doing or even what you're doing. Be completely honest with yourself. Don't delude yourself. Don't be a false person. For some, I'm getting that you, like I said before, you're very tight-lipped about what it is that you're doing. You're more action rather than like telling people or expressing what you're doing. You're just doing it. Like, continue doing that. You don't necessarily have to outright lie about what you're doing, but you don't need to tell everyone your business. Just keep an even keel, keep moving forward, and keep doing what you need to do. All right, let's move on to love and see what we've got for you for December. This is Aquarius. Oops. I'm inclined to take both. All right. We've got surrender and we've got dreams come true. Very nice. Okay. There's a lot going on outside. There's dog barking, cars honking, people yelling, the usual stuff. All right. So when it comes to your love life, there is a person you've had in mind, a type of relationship you wanted, and you kind of have to stop doing and just surrender, knowing that it will happen. You've already done the heavy lifting in terms of trying to manifest this ideal person or ideal relationship. And now it's just time to surrender and receive. So you've kind of done the hard work already. So congratulate yourself because there's nothing more you have to do. Just be open to receiving. All right, let's get another message here, or another card, I should say. This is for Aquarius for romance and love. All right, let's see what we have. Two of Pentacles. All right, so some of you are really focused on how is this going to materialize? What do I need to do to make this happen? And like I said, there's nothing that you need to do. You need to be open to receiving. It's not about doing, it's about receiving, okay? Some of you may have more than one person or more than one option and you're trying to figure out which one works best. The advice is still the same. Like, there's nothing you need to do. Just let shit happen and see what happens. All right, let's get one more card for this love message. There we go. We've got main female. So in the case where you've got more than one person, the main one is probably the best choice. Or you are someone's main female. This doesn't have to necessarily be a woman. You know, this is not gender specific. It's just the feminine energy. And the feminine energy is all about being receptive. So again, it's not anything you have to outwardly do or project anything. You need to just be. And you need to just receive when it comes to your love life, because you've already put in the heavy lifting in order to manifest the relationship with the person that you desire, that you truly desire. And now you just have to be open to receiving it. All right. So now let's move on to career and see what we have for you for this month. Okay. We've got the cross. Okay. This denotes hardship. Everyone has a cross to bear at a certain point in their life, at different times in their lives. And you have endured certain hardships, and you're being that season of hardship when it comes to career or money is coming to an end, but you're not quite there yet. There's still some, and this speaks directly to your second house emphasis, like I mentioned before. There's still some stuff that you need to work through. There's still some stuff that you need to do. You still need to push forward a little bit when it comes to money, assets, and values this month, okay? And it may feel very laborious. It may feel very hard, but just know that it's not going to be like that forever. And you're almost at the end. You're just not quite there yet, okay? Let's get another card here for career and money. Okay, we've got two. We've got judgment. So some of you may have a favorable money judgment. I'm getting like settlement, right? And you've been waiting on this for a long time, and it's finally going to come through in the near future. Others of you, there is a certain income stream or a certain job you may have had from the past that may be coming back up at this time. Okay, which may signal the end of this hardship you've been having with money and assets and things like that. We also have strength. This is exactly what I was just talking about. You need to have the strength to push forward. Again, this month is all about maintaining and stabilizing, and you got to keep going. And Spirit is like, I need you to have the strength and the courage to just keep going. Don't let it fall by the wayside. Don't trash your plans because you think it's too hard or you don't want to do it anymore. Keep going. The end is almost in sight. Okay. Let's get one more card to close out the reading. For Aquarius. Right? We've got despair. I feel like this is how some of you are feeling right now. You're feeling like, oh, I've been in this job, or I've been doing this same thing. I don't feel like I'm getting any farther. I don't think I'm elevating, or things may have even gotten worse. Although I don't get the sense that it's gotten worse. I feel like you've been maintaining, and you almost feel like giving up. And Spirit is like, don't give up. Have the strength, have the courage to keep going forward. Again, this month is all about maintaining. This is not a month where you want to make sudden changes or sudden moves or move in a completely different direction right now. You want to maintain where you're at. But nothing lasts forever. And there's going to be a time very soon where you're going to be in an energy of changing, of starting new things or dropping things. But for right now, it's all about maintaining. All right. So to recap, generally speaking, keep going. I feel like you may have some motivation along the way that's going to light a fire under your ass. That's going to keep you in motion. Okay. You don't necessarily need to tell people all your plans. Don't be deceitful or treacherous or anything like that, but keep a tight lip on what you're doing, because this is all about you right now. It's all about maintaining your momentum and doing what you need to do to stay focused and keep going. When it comes to love, there's nothing that you need to do. I think this is the best part of this month's message, is that you just need to be receptive and open to receiving. You've already done the hard work and the heavy lifting in terms of having that ideal relationship or partner that you want. Be open to receiving it. And then finally, when it comes to work, keep going. It may not feel good at the moment, but the end is not far. Okay. the light at the end of the tunnel is like almost there, but you just got to keep going, keep the momentum, and try not to despair too much. There are times in our life where we experience new things and things change and things are great, but there are times that we just have to really put our nose to the grindstone and just keep working. And this is one of those times for you, but it will pay off in the end, okay? But just be persistent, be diligent, be disciplined, be patient, and things will get better in the long run. All right, my loves, that has been the Astro Forecast and Taroscope for the month of December 2021. I sincerely hope and affirm that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Speaking of readings, if you'd like to book a personal tarot reading with me or order a personalized astrology report, those links are in the description box below, so don't forget to check those out. And while you're checking things out, don't forget to hit up my website, sign up for my newsletter. I give a whole bunch of free content on a regular basis, so sign up everywhere you can so you never miss out. All right, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.